This is In the Dirt with ASOTU.
Got a new friend, Brian Spangler. Welcome to In the Dirt with ASOTU.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Glenn Lundy said you're the largest car dealership in the world.
Not quite.
Oh, he said going to be.
Going to be.
Yeah,
there we go.
Which is what he says about every
Two
dealer.
words, yes.
Right? You are going to be the largest. I'll do my best, Glenn Lundy.
That's pretty good.
This is okay. A little too gritty.
Brian, so tell us a little bit about your store, where you're at in the country. Like, give the people the background.
So, Karl Moyer, he has Karl Chevrolet out of Ankeny, Iowa, and been in business for over 40 years, and opened his second location in 2018. And then I was just a young car guy that bought a lot of cars from him, and he asked if I actually told him I was going to go purchase a Chevy Buick GMC dealership, and I asked him if I could have his blessing to get the Buick and the GMC customers to come my way. And I don't think he was so much having that, but
he's like, "Ooh, I liked you until you said that."
Yeah, so he said, "How about you just come over and run a Chevy store?" And I had 3 used car lots at the time, and closed one used car lot down. Went over with no idea really 100% what I was doing in the new car world, and just jumped into a general manager role, and here we are today. And it's grown into a partnership that I appreciate greatly. We've had 2 used car stores plus the Chevy dealership, and come to me one day and said, "Hey, what are we going to do with these used car lots?" And I said, it seems to be going okay. And long story short,
like, I think they might be worth $1 or $2.
Yeah. So long story short, we just we went back full circle, and we bought the Chevy Buick GMC dealership.
Oh, wow.
that I wanted to do. So we closed the used car lot in Webster City, pushed my people over to that store, and now we got 2 Chevy dealerships in the used car lot, and he's bought a Ford dealership and a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and another Buick GMC. Wow. All in 4 years. I mean, just went from one dealership to 7. So I'm just a managing partner of 3 of them with him, and it's 2 paths crossed. You know, it was fire and fuel that just he's 81 years old, and he's probably the best mentor in the car business I've ever had. So it was just ran into a really good opportunity, and hard work paid off. So.
Okay, so you've been, it started as independent used cars, that type of thing, and then it got in the franchise, have gone back and forth and still have legs in both. What are the learnings that cross or that were the hardest maybe on the franchise side to kind of bring some of your experience to?
So when I was at the used car dealership, I was just a used car guy. I'd go to the auction, I'd bring the cars back. I didn't have a full service department, so I kind of did that at independent service stations around the area there. And then when you go into the new car world of it, you go from owning 1 business to now owning 5 businesses.
Right.
I have a used car store, I have a new car store, I have a body shop, a parts department, and a service department. So it's like I
never thought of it that way.
Yeah. So
it's 5 businesses from
and
1.
Sometimes they run almost too much like that.
Yeah. Right. The trick is the real secret.
Yeah, so that's true. So it's luckily I don't really have the problem with that. My guys do work pretty well together, and it's all the way down to just new cars selling accessories, getting those guys to understand that helps your service department and your parts department. And it's just and then it just all comes hand in hand. So that was quite the learning curve for me, because I ran 1 business, and I pretty much knew exactly what was going on in that business day to day, front to back, buying, selling, servicing. I knew exactly what was going on. And now, now you go to you have 80 employees at one store, and I just got guys I trust to do the job, and they do it. And then if anything comes up on the deal, we talk about it, we figure it out, and we have meetings weekly, so with all the general managers, and they're all great guys. I learn stuff from them every week. We sponge off of each other, and it's Glenn was right when he said we're going to be the biggest. We are on our way to do that. But
congratulations.
We haven't got there yet, but we got big goals ahead of us, and I think that what's setting up to be a nightmare for others is setting up to be a great future for us. So,
we've heard that theme through a few people in this series of like 800% club dealers. It's kind of like everybody else is like might be in for it in 2023, and it's actually not because of anything else but us.
Because of us.
We're the reason why they're in for it. And I love, like, everybody kind of smirks exactly like if you listen to the audio, there's this kind of like, we're ready. We've put down the work. So what does the last, especially year, look like for you in putting down the bricks that are prepping for this? Like, we're ready. We're going to take advantage of this next season.
People. I mean, we got good people in all areas of the dealership and communication with each other. It's not perfect. I mean, nothing's perfect, but it's what we do with the parts of it that aren't perfect. I mean, it's what we're learning from today. And, there was even, with being involved with Glenn here in the past, I'd say probably 9 to 12 months ago, I was telling my team that, with the process, we have to dial it in. We have to make sure stuff's strong. And we're good. And, I mean, we had meetings last week on this. We're good. Everybody sees us as great, but we have to understand internally we're good. But we have a brand that deserves great, and everybody needs to understand that. And it's only one way of doing business, and that's the right way. So it's gotten Karl really far. It's taken our dealerships to numbers that are off the chart and continuing to grow. So it's a bright future ahead of us.
So you said that you have big plans for 2023 and beyond. What are the big plans, or what is the summary of the big plans so the other dealers out there can hear about the swing and why? So my Stuart store, 200's always been the number, and we pre-COVID hit 160, and then I can give you every excuse. It's inventory, it's people, it's blah, blah. That's whatever you want to hear, but
right.
It's what everybody else says too. But if there's a will, there's a way, and we're gonna hit 200 at that store. The Webster City location, we bought that 17 months ago, and they were doing 30 a month, and we're going to hit 100 and probably 30 this month.
Whoa.
And, yeah, so that store there, I just set a 5-year goal of 300. We want to get that. And then the used car store, I mean, we're pretty consistent at 40, but we'd like to get that up to 100. We just built a new facility, so there's a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things going, but it's fun. I mean, it keeps you busy.
Glenn was saying earlier, it's like, it's just tiny. Once you get to that, once you know where you're headed, it's like tiny little levers. Like, what then needs to be pulled, and maybe you're going to test things here and there, but it's just like tiny little levers as you go. Is there a tiny lever that you're pulling this month or next month that you're like, I'm just testing this thing out?
Yeah, I've pulled some accountability levers.
He's like, my people feel like they're getting
we'll call it a lever, right? It's an accountability lever,
and it's more so just because I know when we hired the people that we hired, I know I got great people, and if they just aren't living up to their potential to be great, that's that lever. It's let's go, boys. And ladies, it's just time to win, is what it is. So that's kind of where we stand with it. It's just it's full speed ahead, and I do look forward to the times ahead. I mean, some dealers probably don't, but I look forward to being a dealer among people that might not be dealers. And like right now, everybody thinks they're dealers right now, and it's there's a lot of people that weren't dealers before, and there's going to be more dealers that aren't dealers after.
Wow,
so
that's pretty good.
Oh, shots fired! Let's go.
It's just your efforts that you put in are going to shine down the road here. So
it's going to be a refiner's fire for sure.
Yeah, and I look forward to it. I think there's a lot of good guys in this group that are going to grow 800% over the next 3 to 5 years. I can see it happening. So,
well, Brian, I think you just put a little steel in a lot of people's spine by just your confidence, and you're saying like, hey, everyone's not going to be standing at the end of this, but I will be, and you can be too.
Yep.
Right. And that's I feel that like the accountability and the message of like, you gotta want it.
Yep.
If you want it, you can get it.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us.
Hey.
Best of luck to you. Can't wait to see what you do in 2023.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching this episode of In the Dirt with ASOTU. If you're new to our channel, make sure and mash that like and subscribe button. Also, check out some of these links for our other great podcasts and content.